Okay, let's check back in with Andrew Bolt now. Andrew, as we've been telling you this week, is in Israel. He's bringing us some outstanding insights into the war in the Middle East. He'll be back on the desk on Monday night. Last night, I couldn't believe those pictures. He was at the Western Wall. You saw the incredible images of one of the holiest places on earth, and he joins me again from Israel. Andrew, I started the show, your show tonight, calling on the Allan government to cancel funding for the Islamic Council of Victoria after those comments yesterday from Adel Salman, who talked about October 7 being, a war of the choosing of the Palestinians, and they had to break the back of the Israelis. What chance do you think of that happening?
Not as much chance as Walid Ali criticising them. Walid Ali used to be the Islamic Council's spokesman and sitting on their executive council. So I don't think so. Look, I looked at the funding before the last state election. Both sides of politics wanted to fund the Islamic Council. They need the votes. But guess what? I couldn't believe some of the funding that this Labor government has promised. I kid you not. It went into the election promising this. A Labor government will invest $500,000 to fund an exhibition to celebrate the life of the Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon him, it says, and share the history of our Islamic communities. He went on to say he wanted to also partner with the same Islamic Council to deliver an important exhibition to enable Muslim Victorians to celebrate the Prophet's life and give more Victorians the opportunity to take part as well. Can you tell me, Steve, why exactly is this government funding the proselytizing of one particular faith, the Muslim faith? And this is the same government, you might recall, whose police, whose judiciary, whose courts put in jail the most senior Catholic in Australia, the third most senior in the world, Cardinal Pell, on completely bogus charges of child sexual abuse.
Yeah, I can't explain it. They've been funding this council for years now, and three other Islamic groups in Melbourne. And I note Salman overnight, and I suspect I know what he's up to here. This is very tricky. He called on the Premier to cancel her iftar dinner because of the government's refusal to denounce what Israel's doing. I suspect he wanted that dinner cancelled for other reasons, and they came to light today because so many people are deciding they don't want to attend.
I mean, what is the point? So you do this outreach to the Muslim community and you get slapped in the face for it. I mean, it's how many dinners does the Victorian Premier hold for Catholic leaders every year, right? It's just, look, the whole thing is just bogus. He put out a statement, I saw the head of the Islamic Council saying, I do now condemn the innocent victims of October 7, the massacre by Hamas of 1,200 people, the kidnapping, etc., etc. I'd like him to define what innocent actually means. Now, Steve, I've got to apologise to you. I wanted to give you another sexy backdrop instead of repeating the one back here of Tel Aviv. But it turns out, I've got these meetings, I've got the Australian ambassador in a few minutes, I've got the Israeli president just after that, so I couldn't go scouting. But it turns out this is perfect. Tel Aviv is rich because of things like innovation, startup, tech, all that kind of stuff, right? Gaza down the road, 45 minutes, run by the Islamist Hamas movement, the terrorist movement. They could have been exactly like this. They could be like this today. Palestinians aren't stupid. Right near, not far from where you live, on the Mornington Peninsula, is one of the best wineries in Australia, run by Palestinians. They're smart people. Instead, all these billions of dollars of aid, some of it our money, they conducted Hamas. They built 700 kilometres of tunnels. They bought all these weapons, all these rockets, all these missiles with the money. I think started a war that's devastated their territory, Gaza. I mean, it's just insane. If only they'd shown the entrepreneurship and a will for peace, none of this would have happened.
You've had some intelligence briefings in the last 24 hours. I understand you found out that, in fact, the Hamas attacks were so badly timed that they've upset their paymasters, the Iranians, who didn't want it to happen that early, and they're not very happy with the Hamas leadership.
I've had some terrific briefings. I know it's a holiday, strange way to have a holiday. Former head of Shin Bet, a former official of Mossad, the external spy agency, Shin Bet being the internal one, politicians on both sides of parliament, the country's top counter-terrorism expert, others and others and others. But the point here is the picture that emerges, I can't quote people directly, it was off the record, but the picture that emerges is that Iran is the big enemy, of course. Iran is Shiite. Most of its enemies are Sunni, like particularly Saudi Arabia. They have funded around Israel a circle of Islamist terror groups to attack Israel. 45 minutes that way is Hezbollah, which is the biggest terrorist army around. Hamas in Gaza, 45 minutes that way, is small in comparison, would you believe? So Hezbollah, 2 hours that way, half an hour that way, more Hamas, more Islamic State, that's the West Bank, half an hour away, Islamic Jihad, other terrorist groups also funded by Iran. And if Israel wants to, this is the Mediterranean Sea, if they want to take out cargoes to, say, China or Australia or Japan, normally you would go through the Suez Canal over there and down into the Red Sea. Hamas has also funded Houthi rebels who now shoot at any ship that has any connection with Israel with their missiles. So they've got a ring of terror around it. The idea for Iran was to buy time while they built a nuclear weapon. They're very close to that. That's what the world's been trying to stop. It's close to it. But Hamas went off half-cocked. Israel was supposed to be attacked from all sides. But Hamas went first, and the supreme leader of Iran, I think it was December, called in the senior Hamas official to come and see him, and apparently, according to reports, yelled at him for an hour about how it spoiled the whole thing by going too soon. Israel got lucky.
Your audience is going to love having you back on Monday. You travel safely between Israel and back here, and we'll see you on air on Monday. Thanks for your great insights this week.
Steve, I don't know. I keep getting messages saying Steve Price is great. Don't come back. No, not quite. But I mean, you're doing a great job. So thank you very much.